got like 2 minutes, you know, I got 30 seconds to do this. Okay. But I have to do it. I have to do it, you know. Now, folks, these people took leadership. One word I've heard so many times today is happiness. Yes. Yes or no? Yes. Everybody's happy to be here. Everybody's happy to meet other people. Yes. So by the power vested in me as the Chief Happiness Officer, okay, I am going to present them with the I am happy pin for contributing to all of our happiness. Okay, so please wear it with pride, you know, because this thing could not have happened if you guys did not take the leadership role. Okay, so definitely. So now let us say one thing together, folks. If you are happy, say this. If you are not happy, that's okay. But say, I am happy.
I am happy.
I am happy.
I am happy.
Together we are all happy. So let's do this. EAGS is the best. EAGS is the best. EAGS is the best. EAGS is the best in the field of soccer. Okay, thank you very much. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right. Okay. All right, folks. The power of alumni networks. I want us to start with what we know. The speech the keynote speaker gave told us what can happen when you don't take care of the root. It gets uprooted. So that's how we got uprooted from one section of the school. Now, what if we don't take care of the other root? It will get uprooted. One day, there will be no Eghosa. Now, when we were going to Eghosa, if somebody would have said that, it would have been a major riot. Because no way that could have ever be a vision. So that means, folks, we have a tremendous responsibility. Now, I've talked to a lot of people so far, and there's a lot of folks that can be given a lot of credit for what they've done. Otima from Lagos, let's give my brother a big round of applause, please. Mr. Brogan. Also, not just flying all the way from Nigeria, but what they have done as a group, you know, in the Lagos chapter to support our group. Okay, so now let me squeeze the rest of my time in what is left. Network. Folks, one thing that I've done in all my life of pursuing happiness and working with people is the power of networks. If you look at all the rich people, they don't just get rich because they are good on an individual basis. They somehow figure out a way to operate a network. Whether they have a radio network, a TV network, or like the McDonald's that have a chain of restaurant network. Networks are very powerful. If you understand how to make it work, folks, nothing can ever happen to you. So let's take a look at that very quickly. The alumni network. We are all here right now. But below us is the school. Now, what if there is no school? Would we exist? Would they have reason? Sure, we'll still be friends and we'll still talk, but you might as well remove the word alumni. And that's what our keynote speaker experienced. Folks, do you understand how that feels? To take your kids with pride and go to your school and all of a sudden you don't want to associate with that anymore because of what you experienced? Folks, just imagine how that could be like. That is very tough. But all of us at one time or the other have experienced that. So, but the good news is though, we cannot cry over the clinic. It's what do we do from today. Yesterday is the cancel check, right? Tomorrow is the promissory note. Today is what? The present. Folks, it's not a coincidence, it's called present. The moment you wake up in the morning, God has given you a present. That is the day. What do you do with that? So if you do the best you can on every given day, I can tell you folks, your future is guaranteed. Amen. You know, somebody came to me the other day and said, Edwin, I heard you're from Africa. I said, yes. You practice voodoo? I said, I don't know where you're coming from. But you know, every time I hear you speak in a way. You know, do you think people can predict the future? You know, as a matter of fact, yes. Well, now I stop. And then they say, what do you mean? How? In other words, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Folks, we are here today as a body. We have the ability, among us, to create the future of Eghosa Anglican Grammar School. Now, Otima was describing moving the road. And I know some of us were kind of like, wow, Nigeria, folks, some of us here, we are not quite sure what the money value is in Nigeria and how it's being used until we get a shock. I just came back. But so we are working 50 million naira. You think that's a lot of money, and you find out that that will just vanish in Nigeria very quickly because inflation rate is so high in that country, you cannot even begin to imagine it. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't dream. Because I've always believed the sky is never the limit. The sky is the beginning. And that's what we can do with our group. So let's look at this. Different types of alumni network. Today now, we see companies even creating alumni. Because they know that it's an extension of them. They know that these people that retire from their companies can become a blessing. Not even as a consultant back to them, but can put out good word on their behalf. They can help them win contracts from different places they become affiliated with after they retire from the company. So company CEOs are now very careful. They don't want their people to live with bad feeling. They want them to live with as good a feeling as possible. What about sports? We all know that. In short, there's a school in California that they almost shut down the baseball, the college baseball. The alumni rally around. And within about 60 days, they raise enough money for the school system to reverse their decision. That's the power of alumni network. Schools, we all know about that. I get so many letters from the school I went to. My school in Boston, in Bridgewater, the one in Edebiri Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach. We get email from them, we get letters from them, and there is none of them that we have emotional connection with like we do with Eghosa Anglican Grammar School. So if we can support those schools, and yes, we should support them because they help to add to who we are today, but imagine what we can do to the school that gave us that root, that make us truly what we are. Now I have to apologize to my good friend here, Paul. Because I gave Paul the hard time when he was chapel prefect. So I have to apologize, to him. It's just that at that time, I never knew. It says there are some of us that are predictable. Yes. One of such person is Moses Osayame Mosewo. He used to memorize the whole history book, and they would be regurgitated it in the hall back and forth. So you knew he was going to become a lawyer. And then there were the ones we could not predict, like my good friend Fositero and Edwin. When I heard he was a pastor, I almost passed out. That is what Eghosa have done. Because Eghosa planted the seed. We never knew what was going to germinate from that seed. We were looking for the different ways, but we were built. And that's what has happened. So let's take the alumni networks. What is critical, folks? The alumni referral programs. Folks, it's so powerful. I can understand. I am so blessed. I had the opportunity now to travel around the world, to promote what I do. Who would have thought Edwin Edebiri is Igoma, in Eghosa will become Chief Happiness Officer? That is so far apart, I can even imagine it myself. Now, I had a program I started in 2009, the I Am Happy Project. Right now, folks, it's in 55 cities in 16 countries. And I get to travel all over the world. And so I try to stay away from Eghosa boys in that arena because then, I'm not balance so why, but I enjoy it. So the first thing, folks, is the referral program. If we create a powerful network, whether it be in the Americans, whether it be in Europe, whether it be in Asia, whether it be in Africa, imagine the extra edge, the extra advantage students from Eghosa would have when they go to any part of the world. All they have to do, like our brother said, is go to the website and just type in the city they're going to be going to, the country they're going to be going to, and when they get to that country, they have open arms welcoming them because they have a connection with an alumni.
That's great.
Folks, that is powerful.